Hey guys, welcome back to another video where I'm going to go over nuclear tech mod updates and changes. At the center of this showcase will be the new and improved chemical plant version 2. Now this chemical plant is not only a visual improvement over the last chemical plant that we had, but also functions much better. Some of the features are missing, but they will be added in the upcoming updates. Also, I'll cover some visual changes and scaffolds and stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this video. Alright, so starting off this video with the chemical plant. Now this one is basically an improvement over the last chemical plant. However, the old chemical plant is still there in the mod. I think it will be removed later on. This one has 12 slots in total, 3 on each side, 6 for input, 6 for output. Its GUI is also pretty interesting. 3 liquid inputs with 3 solid inputs and 3 liquid outputs along with 3 solid outputs. So that's that, and there are upgrade slots, but they don't work right now. And one very interesting feature about this one is that if the top center block above this one is blocked, then it will form this frame around it. So you can stack these chemical plants like this, and they will make a tower sort of structure. So you can have your chemical tower, which looks pretty cool. To set the recipe, you can use the internal GUI. So if you click on this one, then it will open an entire list where if you hover over them, then it will show you the inputs that you need along with the power that will be consumed, and then you can simply select them. There is also a template section, but that is for secret recipes, which I think will be added later on. So for now, there are some new recipes, like for example, the Vitrified Nuclear Waste, which can now take in solid nuclear waste as well. Hydrogen, which will be formed using water and coal or water and lignite coal. So basically electrolysis can no longer be done in the chemical plant, and also the simple mixing recipes now only take place in the industrial mixer. They can't be done in the chemical plant as well. So the chemical plant is kind of for some of the more advanced recipes. Right. So let's start with a simple recipe here, which will be water to hydrogen peroxide. This only takes water as the input, and it gives out hydrogen peroxide, and this one now is a 1:1 ratio. So if you take in 1000 millibuckets of water, that will be completely converted into 1000 millibuckets of hydrogen peroxide, which was not the case before. If you remember, it was 1000 millibuckets of water to 800 millibuckets of peroxide. Now, if I take an upgrade here, it won't work right now. However, this will be implemented later on. So yeah, upgrades are not working right now, but still, the animation and everything, it's pretty cool, as you can see here, the entire spinning thing. Next up, we take a look at another recipe. Let's say we take hydrogen. So for hydrogen, we are going to need coal along with water. And I tried inputting coal using the pneumatic ducts, but that didn't work. Well, it should have, as it said that the input output is working like other machines. I tried the pneumatic tubes with crates, and that was working perfectly. So I don't know what happened here. Maybe I did something wrong. However, I also tried setting a hopper to input the coal. That didn't work as well. So maybe the input or input output is broken right now. I don't know. However, placing the coal manually did work, and now we are producing hydrogen. So that's that. And for oxygen, by the way, you can produce it from compressed air. Something that you can also produce from compressed air is nitric acid now. So compressed air and water will give nitric acid. However, this will consume more power, much more power actually, and take more time compared to the normal recipe, which is just niter and water. However, if you want to produce nitric acid at some offshore plant, then this is a very cool way to do it. So that's that, and there goes our tank. Another thing is that you can set presets for the tool abilities now. So for example, I take this molten pickaxe here, and if I press left alt key, that will open up the presets menu. And here I have 6 presets available. I can basically set them however I want. So let's come to the first preset. Here in the top section, if I go with wind miner, right clicking this wind miner will also change its level. So you can select between level 3 and level 4. And in the bottom section, I'm going with fortune. Then let's go to the next preset. You can set it to whatever you like. In a similar way, you can basically customize and set your presets for the tools that you have. Once all of the presets have been set, then you can right click to change them, and you can see in the top left hand corner of the screen, I am basically cycling between all of the presets that I have set. So yeah, that's a pretty neat feature, very useful for all of the survival players. Alright, RBMK reactors. Now on the console, the RBMK reactor's orientation can be changed. So if I basically make a reactor which is not symmetric around the axis, then you can see that this reactor is not really aligning with the reactor that we have made. However, this can be changed using a screwdriver. Shift right clicking will basically rotate the reactor, and now it can be oriented in the same way as you have made it. So yeah, that's the orientation change for the RBMK reactor. And the N2 mine has been updated. It's or how it looks has been updated, the textures. However, it functions the same way, so you will still need the large explosives to make it go boom. We are gonna do that at the end of the video. Wooden scaffolds, they have their hitboxes reduced, and now they can actually be used to climb and traverse up and down. So that's a neat feature. And the same thing applies for chains and vines, I think. So with a chain, for example, like the one we had at the oil rig, you just approach them, and then looking up, you press the space button, and then you go up, and leaving the space button will make you come down. So that's a pretty neat feature for once again traversing up and down. Duds have an area of effect now, which will give you debuffs when you are close to them, and this will depend on the type of dud that you are around. So that's that. Be careful around duds now. And finally, they said that there are two new variants of the anti-material rifle, and there's also a demolition charge, a 50 BMG demolition charge. I haven't been able to find either of these things. I don't know where these are, but yeah, that's that. If I will find it, I'll be sure to make a shot on it or something like that. And finally, let's make the N2 mine go boom. And look at this villager. He's halfway into the mine. And then people ask me what the villagers ever did to me. So there's the set and boom. So looks like the explosion, the damage, everything remains the same. It's just the textures that have been updated. And yeah, actually that is all I had to showcase in this video here. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from it. If you did, please do smash that like button, and also don't forget subscribing. I am very close to 30,000 now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace out and stay safe, my dudes.